In this episode of Growing Your Sense of Self Through Self-Defense, we're going to tap into some of the Superman power by breaking a board with a bare hand. Here's where you get boards. Now, the type of wood you want to use when you're making boards to break is something like whitewood, 1 by 12 inch, because it's not actually 1 inch, it's not actually 12 inches, but you notice the grains on the board run vertical, and you want to break with the grain, which means when you have to cut the board 8 inches width, so it'll be roughly 8 by 11 something by 1 inch, and then the grains will be running such that you can break the board along the grain. Breaking the board across the grain is not a good idea. So we're going to pick out a 8 foot long 1 by 12 inch piece of whitewood board. It's a lot easier than cutting it by hand. We're here in McIver Amphitheater on the campus of Meredith College in Raleigh, North Carolina. And my partner today is Mr. Akram. You remember him from episode P10.
Hey,
Sir.
What's going on?
All right.
Good to see you.
Me too. All right, so we're going to break this board, 1 inch board. It's made of whitewood. And I'm not going to give him any tips or instructions. He's just going to have to use brute force, and we'll see how well that works when he does it, because he's kind of a strong guy, right? Okay, so I'm going to hold the board. You're going to stand there. We're going to do this with what's called a hammer strike. Like that? So it's as if, imagine you have a hammer in your hand and you're striking, but your hammer is your hand. Your hand is your hammer. Sure. So like you're going to nail in with the hammer. So like that. Okay. Go ahead, do a swing for me. Let me see what you're going to do. Like that. Yeah, you're going to have to hit it strong. Good. Okay.
Like that?
Boom. Yeah.
Okay.
So 1 inch
like
board,
down.
you're going to have to hit it. Yes.
Okay.
Straight down. Yes. Good.
All right.
All right.
You sure?
Yeah. Okay.
Ready?
Ready. Come on, man. What do you
Okay,
got?
let's do it.
Is that marshmallows in there? What do you got in there?
Come on, let me give it
Mashed
another
potatoes?
try. Mashed potatoes.
Well, you got to hit it with something, man.
In your
I
dreams.
brought you here because you're strong.
Come on, let's do
Okay.
it. Come on, ready? Oh, man.
All right. You got it. Fortunately, there's another partner we have here today, Miss Leslie. You might remember her from episode P21. Miss Leslie?
Hi.
Good to see you again. So if you remember from that episode, she made me eat grass, and she laughed about it, like that. All right, so see if you can break this board. You got to be stronger than this guy, right?
Okay. Yes. I'll be easy.
That's how you do it, Akram. That's how you do it.
Oh
Okay.
God, Leslie.
All right.
That's awesome.
Now, so the reason we failed, the big guy failed, was because it was really my failure. This is not only technique on the person striking, it's a technique on the person holding. So if you notice when I was holding for Akram, I was going with him. And if you think about when we do falling skills, the goal is to minimize the damage that can be done by spreading out the impact in space and time. I was spreading out his impact in time by moving the board with him. So he was not impacting the damage or injecting the damage so much on the board, so it didn't break. So technique for a holder, first thing you want to do is, whichever direction the board is breaking, you want your palm and your arms to hold that. So I wouldn't hold the board this way for a guy hitting it with a hammer. It's just my fingers trying to hold it up. Not a lot of strength. This here I got my arms and I got the meaty part of my hands. So that's the first technique, is to hold it the right way. Then not to move it like I did. Wrong. That's how he wasn't breaking. Then the third thing to keep in mind is, if you remember when Miss Leslie broke it, what you do is apply a little bit of pressure in on the board and out with the board. So you want to hold it without moving it, but by doing this and spreading your arms came cocked wide, it avoids the person breaking, going through and hitting these sharp edges. So thinking in the opposite, if I was trying to push the board together, they were breaking. They break, but then they get scratched as well. So that little technique about a little bit of pressure down and out, but mostly you got to try to hold it steady. So Miss Leslie is going to show proper striking technique. So that's the holder's technique. Striker technique, there's a few things here as well. So one of the things she wants to do is hit directly orthogonal to what she wants to break. So she wouldn't, all right, for instance, she wouldn't want to be swinging this way if she wants to break the board. Anything going side to side is no good. Anything going front to back is no good. It's not going to help anything break the board. So her strike, doing slow motion. Her strike in slow motion, yeah, just is straight into the board, right? Now, if you're practicing, this is a good thing to practice with foam, a pillow, something like that. You can't hold this steady because she ain't going to break it. So it's going to go back up her arm. So hold it with one hand like this here so it goes away, or hold it with both hands and let her knock it out of your hand. So we're going to let her hit it harder, right in the middle, and I'm not going to hold it with this hand. Yes, right. So that's how you work. So you say, well, I wasn't hard enough. Hit it harder, you get to a point where, yeah, she's striking well. So then she does that. So in the middle, oh, and the meaty part of your hand. On a hammer strike, go to the meaty part of your hand. Don't lean it forward and crack your little finger, right? You want the meaty part of the hand. Then most importantly, go through what you're hitting, right? It's the follow through. It's like any other sport that you play, baseball, tennis, with a ball involved, soccer. You got to follow through. You don't stop swinging as soon as you make contact with the ball, whether it's with a racket, a golf club, a baseball bat. You follow through. That's important. If you try to break the board and stop when you hit it, well, likely is you're going almost 0 miles an hour when you hit that. You want to be at maximal speed, not minimal speed, in order to do the break. That's the greatest momentum. That's the greatest likelihood of breaking. So follow through. Don't stop when you touch it. And if you don't break it something that you're trying to break that's substantial, that's when you get hurt. Did you guys get hurt when you broke the board? Well, not you. So now I'm going to have Miss Leslie do a holding technique. You never held for a board break, right? On a 1-inch board, you got to hold pretty good. Okay. So first thing is, remember, you want your fat palm there and present it for me like you want me to do that and hit you, right? So hold it so you can get down a little bit because I don't want to have to break it up here. And hold tight and then like pinch in and look to pull out. Well, that's a different strike, because I want to be orthogonal. So you want to hold it. You want to hold it like a serving tray, right? Right, but your meat underneath. Fingers on the top. You're not feeling comfortable. Tuck your elbows in. Tuck your elbows in. Curl your fingers over the top. I'm not going to hit your fingers and get the meaty part, your palms there. Yeah. Okay. Now that's a little bit still pointing towards you, right? Imagine I'm shooting a gun. I'm going to hit you. If I'm shooting a gun this way, it's not going to hit you. Okay. Hold it strong. And move it close. Yes. Yes. That's good. That's good. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Don't move it. Don't move it. One more piece I left out. Exhaling air, making noise, is a good thing. It's a concentration of your power. So if you notice, a lot of tennis players, they're grunting when they're swinging. Bruce Lee used to do it. Muhammad Ali used to do it. We used to make those kinds of noises. Bodybuilders, weightlifters, when you go into something like making this, right, they let that out.
Yeah, we do that.
That's a power thing, right? If you try to hold your breath and hit it, you're going to lose a lot of your power. Right. So I have some Taekwondo background. I like to yell, so don't get intimidated when I yell too, right? So Taekwondo is typically 3 yells before, during, and after. So it's like this. All right? Okay,
awesome.
Good job, good job.
See you in
All right.
action finally.
Yeah. So now, Mr. Akram's going to do 2 boards. Okay.
Am I going to be able to?
I don't know. Normally when you do 2 boards, if you're going to do 2 boards, you can step in a little bit. You're just off camera. I'll step back this way. If you're doing 2 boards, you normally would like to put like a spacer, like what's called like a pencil or some coins or something like that, and give it a little bit of gap in there. And what happens in the first board has some time to break. It's just a normal 1-inch break. Then when it starts to break, it starts to help you break the second one, and it's more helpful. This here with no gap is going to all have to be you.
Okay, well, I'm not going to be doing no screaming.
Yeah, you don't have to do screaming. You don't have to do screaming. Let's make sure we're in a good spot on the film. All right, I've never held for a 2-board break like this. You're going to have to hit it hard, yeah.
Okay,
but
like this.
as much speed as you can generate, because the speed is power, right? Sure. Okay, wait a minute now.
I don't want to hurt you.
You might, but I will see.
You got your health insurance?
Yeah, I'm all ready.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Gotcha! Gotcha! Whoosh, eh?
Wow.
Yeah, almost knocked me down. Yeah.
See, without screaming or anything.
Yes, sir. Yeah, smell. You like the smell of the wood? Yeah. It's real wood.
Oh my God,
yeah,
it's awesome.
Real wood.
It really is.
Yeah. So that's board breaking. Feel Superman? You guys feel the Superman? Yeah, you always do. Yeah, stronger than this guy.
She's going to kick my butt.
Yeah, I think so.
Sure, Leslie.
All right. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Curt.
Big man. All right. Thank you. Till next time.
Good to see you guys.
Kamsamida. Toodles.
Bye.
Good job. Good job, guys. Nice job.